Hello, good evening. Am I audible to all of you? Okay. So, are you happy to be here? How many have come because they wanted to come, and how many have been forced to attend it? How many of you are against your wish here and parents forced you to attend this camp? Please raise your hand. Honestly, please raise your hand. How many didn't want to attend but parents have forced you to attend? Is there anyone? No, all are here because you wanted to attend. Is that true? Yes? How many are here because you wanted to attend? Please raise your hand. Okay, you wanted to attend. Those of you who wanted to attend, please raise your hand. Let me see. Okay. And what about others who are not raising their hands in either of the cases? So let me introduce myself to you. I am Sister Shilpa. I will be conducting this 3-day session for you. And today's session is about attention and perception. So what do you understand by these two words? Does this ring a bell in your mind? Do you think something when you hear this word attention and perception? So what do you think this session is about? So who would like to answer? Please raise your hand. I'll unmute you and you can answer. Anybody who would? All are raising hands. Okay. So, Cheryl Malik, okay, you tell me what is attention and what is perception. Unmute kar de? Haan. So, kindly unmute and let me know what you think about these two words. Okay, I think it's not working. So, if it's yes, you can speak. Huh? Yeah. Thank you. So very well said that yes, it is a behavioral process, and you can choose to pay attention or not pay attention. Fine. Anybody else who would like to talk about, like to tell me what perception is? Anything you understand by perception? Kanishka Balani, can you tell me what do you think perception means? Kindly unmute yourself. Okay. Probably there is a problem unmuting all. So what you could do is you could just type. Please write your answers in the chat box. What do you think by perception? All of you are open to write. You can write what you think attention and perception means, and then we will talk about what it means. Awareness, okay. The ability to learn or understand is perception. All right. Anything else? Awareness. Attention is how alert are we of our surroundings. Our recognition and interpretation of sensory information. Ma'am, the understanding power, good. taking notice of a particular person or something, right? Attention means to have focus and alertness or conscious of something, okay? The ability to hear, see, or become aware of something through the senses. What as an individual we think about ourselves or others is perception. Very nice. A particular way of looking someone else, okay? Awareness of the things going in our surroundings, perception of how we understand the things. Okay, thank you so much. So yes, you are all correct in your own ways, and it's true that this is what we mean by attention and perception. So you are already very aware. So we have a class which is very, very aware. So I would like you to perform an exercise wherein I would like you to think about three things or people or ideas or situations which are most on your mind these days. So for example, today, what are the three things that are most on your mind? It could be people, it could be things, it could be situations, it could be thoughts, it could be ideas, it could be anything. Any three which are most on your mind today, and you can message them to me privately so that I can see where your attention is going. And please be honest, because when you are honest, then we will be able to talk about what we are dealing with. Okay, please message me about the three things or ideas or people or situations that are most on your mind. Please privately message so that others are not able to see, and sometimes we just want to avoid the task, so we copy also. So privately message. Okay. No, you should message on BK Shilpa Didi. Okay, message on BK Shilpa Didi. Please message on BK Shilpa Didi. Okay, so we have enough messages, and mostly, it is about health, studies, and COVID. So mostly these are the things that are on everybody's mind these days. And there are so many answers, and then some children are writing about, or you are not children, you are all adults, so all of you are mostly writing about the environment at home, and you are stressed about online classes and COVID, and parents fight also, that is also coming up. So these are the things which are there now. I would, हाँ जी, बंद कर दो. Okay, so these are mostly the things that are on everybody's mind. And if I would ask you, what is the feeling that you most experience these days? What is the feeling that you most experience these days? Whether it is happiness, whether it is love, whether it is concern, whether it is fear, whether it is anger, or whether it is anticipation, or whether it is, I don't know, about amongst the whole gamut of feelings, what is the feeling that you most experience these days? Please message that also privately, so I am able to understand where you are. So see, the feelings that are coming up are anxiety, alone, irritated, helplessness, melancholy. I am really happy to spend a lot of time with my family, very good. Anger, anxiety, sadness, gratefulness, very nice. Happiness and excitement, suffocation, irritation and anger, boredom, anger, bored, okay. Bored and irritated, happiness and sometimes frustrated, laziness, happiness and irritated, happiness, concerned and bored, joy, nervousness, irritated, bored, I am alone because of my family reasons, okay. Sometimes positive and motivated, otherwise I'm anxious about my future, mix of emotions, identity crisis, happy because of fresh air, irritation, usually happy but sometimes anger, okay. So these are mostly the feelings that we are all experiencing. Now, why I am conducting this session today is to share with you how these feelings that we are experiencing and how the things that are on our mind are affecting us, okay? So we will learn two things today. First law, you please write down this law. Wherever attention goes, energy flows and that thing grows. Wherever attention goes, energy flows and that thing grows. Okay? So this means that if you focus on the good gets better, and if you focus on the bad becomes worse. Okay? So wherever attention goes, energy flows and that thing grows. So if you focus on the good gets better, and if you focus on the bad gets worse. So this is something that we will first understand about where we are paying our attention. Now, having talked about the things that are usually on your mind, now I would like you to think about whether you could actually think about something else. Is it possible that these things that are usually on your mind, which are giving you a feeling of anxiety or anger or boredom or frustration, could you shift your attention from these to something else? Is there anything right now in your life which you could be happy about, grateful about, joyful about, elated about? Can you think about something which is there? Yes, if you could think very hard, could you come up with things, situations, people which are actually going your way and which you could focus on and feel very happy about? So if I ask you, can you come up with something which which where your attention goes could make you feel different from what you are feeling right now? Do you have anything that comes to your mind when you think about this? Okay, so somebody wrote dancing. Yes, so music, yes. So there are so many things. Happy because I'm alive in this corona thing, family time. So yes, there are areas where we could focus. There is swimming, there is painting. Yes. So the thing is, see, you all have come up with 3 different sets of things today, and I have done none of these. I have not helped you in coming up with these things, but now you're writing about having really good friends, walking on terrace, having earphones on. I focus on studies, health, free times for self-improvement, Ludo, poetry, it helps me share my feelings, cricket, kite flying, cricket, kite flying and cricket, singing, playing, listening to soft music, playing with dog. Okay, so there are so many things that now you have come up with, because now your focus shifted on something else. So let me bring you a little awareness about the fact that right at this point of time, there are so many events, so many things, so many possibilities going on around you, and you have a wide range of choice. If you want to focus on one thing, you will focus on that. If you want to focus on something else, you have a choice of focusing on that. And wherever attention goes, energy flows and that thing grows. So if you focus on the good will become better. But if you focus on the bad will become worse. Have you seen this phenomena working in these 3-4 months, that the more you focus on the bad is getting worse? How many notice this? That when you are paying attention to the bad is actually getting worse, right? So many of you are saying yes. So you have experienced that when you are focusing on the bad gets worse. Now, I will tell you one thing. We always think that if we deny something, if we resist something, then that is going to change. For example, if you don't like the reality of current times, like you don't like the fact that you're forced to stay indoors by nature, so if you don't like it, some people think that if you keep resisting something you don't like, that is going to change. Do you think like that? That if I keep cursing the coronavirus, or I keep resisting, or I keep getting mad at it, or I keep feeling miserable, then it will go away? So is the coronavirus listening to you and you say go away and it goes away? Is it like that? Yes, so it doesn't happen like that. So another law that you should know is, whatever you resist will persist. Whatever you resist will persist. So if you are in a situation, it is recommended that you come to terms with the situation. Now, what is come to terms with? So if there is a situation, even if it is not of your liking, it is what it is. Please repeat with me, even if I can't hear you. It is what it is. It is what it is, and this should be your mantra of life. Everything is what it is. Whether you like it or not like it, it is what it is. And when you accept that it is what it is, then you move from resistance to coming to terms with it. When you are resisting, I don't want it, I want it to go away, I don't like it, I don't find it okay, why is this here, what brought it here, then as long as you are resisting it, you are actually empowering it. Yes, so you must understand that if you are resisting something, you are empowering it by your attention, because your attention makes it sustain more and more. So what you do is you accept that it is what it is and come to terms with it and ask yourself, okay, now this is the situation. Now what do I need to do in this situation to function effectively? Okay, so this is the situation and I'm not focusing my energy on asking it to go away or resisting it or feeling miserable and bad about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the way to operate effectively in it. Yes, and if you operate effectively in it, then that situation doesn't exist for you, because that no longer can cause you to slow down, or that situation is not becoming an obstacle for you, because you have come to terms with it and you have found your way out how to operate in that situation. Right? Yes, and do you believe that one door closes, another door opens? Yes, if something is not there, then something else is there, definitely. And if you know what, we can focus on so many things, but the thing is, we are so fixated with what we don't want that we are not able to focus on what are the other possibilities. Right? Just like in the first part of the session, you were talking about what you don't like or what's on your mind which you are resisting. But when I asked you, is there something else you could focus on? So yes, you could, because there are always options, but we don't focus on them because we are very consumed in focusing on the ones that we don't like. Right? So there is a way out always, but you can see that only when you stop focusing on what you don't want. Yes? Are you with me or am I boring you? Are you with me or do you find it boring? How many are with me? Please raise your hand. I want to see you. Raise your hand. How many are able to follow me and are with me? Okay, fine. And even if you find it boring, it is what it is. So you need to come to terms with it. Okay, so this is how it is. So wherever you are, so why I asked you this question is because if you find it boring, you will miss the whole point of the class, and you cannot choose to leave because your parents will not like it. So you have to sit here. So when you have to sit here, why not make the most of it? So this is wisdom. So whenever you are at a certain place, even if it is not of your choice, even if it is not of your making, if you can make the most of it, that's the best thing you can do there. So you have to learn to put your heart on where the time and where the situations have put you into. And when you try to accept or come to terms with whatever is, then you will be able to see the good in it. Otherwise, you will keep resisting and miss the whole point, right? So this is what you need to learn, that whenever you pay attention on something, you are giving your energy to it. Now, amongst the answers, many people talked about health. So people are concerned about their health, and most of you are also concerned about health these days. And how many of you think that you have a fear that I might catch COVID or any member of my family might? Please raise your hand. I just want to see your hands. So, is there fear? So, others are not afraid. Okay, so some of you are admitting to it and others are not admitting to it. Let me take it that way. So, now the thing is, when you are, so let us understand how this mind works. So, whenever you create a thought, for example, you created a thought, maybe I will fall ill. So, when you create that thought, what happens is your intellect or your buddhi visualizes it. You understand that there is a process of creation of image going on inside. And as soon as you think about ill health, a picture of you being unhealthy pops up. Right? Whenever you think about something, an image corresponding to that pops up in your head. Have you noticed this? And do you know what Albert Einstein said? Albert Einstein said that your imagination is your preview to the future. Your imagination is your preview to the future. So, your future is what you are imagining right now. Okay? So, whenever you are thinking of something, that comes to your imagination, and your imagination creates your reality. So, what you are doing is, when you are thinking of sickness, you are creating sickness. Okay? So, if you want health, what do you have to think? You have to think of health. Okay? Now, how do you think of health? Now, there are two ways of thinking of health. Some people say, I will not fall ill. I will not fall ill. So, when you say, I will not fall ill, what is the image that's coming to your mind? It's that of illness. Right? So, the language with which you talk to yourself is very, very important. And so, what do you tell yourself? I am healthy. I am healthy. I am ever healthy. Yes, I am healthy. I am ever healthy. This is the thought that creates the image corresponding to the reality which you want to create. Fine? So, not I don't want to be ill or I won't be ill. Because if you say that, then the image that is created is not of health but of sickness. So, you have to be very careful about these things and create the right thought. So, what is the right thought? I am healthy. I am ever healthy. Yes? So, this is the thought. Now, some of you have the fear of failure, and you keep thinking about ifs and buts and whether I'll perform well, or whether I'll get good marks, or whether I will do well in the exam, or whether the board results will be fine, or whether this will happen or whether that will happen. Now, even in those cases, the image that you create is a negative one. Right? So, when you are thinking whether I'll succeed or not, or whether I'll fail, then you're mostly creating an image of failure. Right? You see your mark sheet with bad marks, or you see yourself underperform with a report card which is not up to the expectations of your parents. So, what you have to do is, you have to create that thought, I am ever successful. I always succeed. These are the thoughts that you create so that you can guarantee success. Okay? Now, please repeat with me, I am always successful. I am always successful. How many of you feel that you are telling a lie? When you say, I am always successful, how many of you feel you're telling a lie? Some of you feel that, oh, this is not true, and why am I saying this? So, this is also where you need to understand that your mind, your words, and your actions have to be in sync. They have to be together, because if your mouth is saying I am always successful and your mind is saying, oh, that's a big lie, and then you are not doing anything to back that thought up, and you are neglecting your studies, you are not paying attention to a disciplined timetable, and you are not doing that which it requires to get successful, then your heart and your mind will not be in sync with your words. So I am successful is not some magic mantra. You have to bring it to manifest. And how you bring it to manifest is by thinking when you think I am successful, when you speak I am successful, then you have to back it up with action. So when you study well, when you pay attention to discipline and timetable, then you will be successful. So this is when you will be creating the right thought, speaking the right word, but also doing the right act. And if these things are not together, then just speaking the right words won't help. Okay. Now, how many of you like discipline? Please raise your hand. You like discipline. Okay. And how many of you hate discipline? How many of you hate discipline? You don't like to be disciplined. You don't like waking up on time. You don't like doing what you're asked to do. So there are many who don't like discipline. Okay. Now let me tell you my story. So I used to be very, very indisciplined. Okay? And I hated to be disciplined. But do you know what? Today I'm the most disciplined person that you will, I think, probably meet in your vicinity. And why? Because, and you know what time I get up every day? 3:30 in the morning. So when you're half asleep, I get up every day. And then I work, I meditate, I conduct sessions, I do a lot of things, I cook, I clean, I do everything. But the thing is, how did I shift from being very indisciplined to being disciplined? So there is a small secret to it, and I will tell you this. You know why you don't like discipline? Because it is imposed on you. Because it is imposed on you. Because somebody else is asking you to be disciplined. Mostly it is teachers or parents or other people around you who are asking you to be disciplined, and you don't like to be told what to do and what not to do. So that is why you choose the wrong thing, because you are told to do the right thing. You choose the wrong thing because you are told to do the right thing, and you don't like to be told. Am I right? Am I right? So you all know that discipline is good for you, but you don't choose it because somebody else is telling that to you. But the problem is, if you don't choose the right thing just because somebody else is telling it to you, then you are the one making the bad choice. And then you have to pay for it. So, from today onwards, we will shift to a new word. What is that new word? Self-imposed discipline. The new word is self-imposed discipline. So you will not do anything because somebody is telling you, but you will choose what is good for you. Right? So you need to have a timetable which you think is good for you. Okay? Because you know, Negligence and fear are connected. Negligence and fear are connected. What is connected? Negligence and fear. So if you are neglecting something, you will always be fearful about it. If you are neglecting studies, you will always be afraid that you will fail. If you are neglecting health, you will always be fearful that I might fall ill. So it is very important that you pay attention to your health, to your diet, to your exercise, to your study, to your honesty, right? Because if you don't pay attention to these things, then you will always feel fearful that something might happen, and living with fear is a horrible feeling. So you need to get yourself disciplined so that you are giving your time and attention and energy to the right areas, so that you don't feel scared because you are neglecting that area. Right? So the only way to be free from fear is to do what you need to do. And if you are neglecting that, then you can never get rid of fear. So what you need to understand is, if I don't want this miserable feeling where I have cramps in my stomach and I'm feeling fearful and sweaty and anxious, then you need to adopt a lifestyle which makes you feel that you're not neglecting anything. And this lifestyle will come when you stop thinking about what others are telling you and stop making your choices based on how you don't want to listen to them. So mostly we make our choices based on the fact that I don't want to listen to this person, so if this person is telling me this, I won't do that. And even if it is very good for you, you keep neglecting it. So what you understand today is, you will have self-imposed discipline where you will try to set for yourself the time, energy and attention you need to devote to your health, to your studies, to whatever areas that you think need attention, right? And if you don't do that, then you will live in fear. Do you like to live in fear? No. So the only way to get rid of fear is to have self-imposed discipline. And don't hate discipline because it comes from someone else. If you don't like them dictating your terms, it's okay. But you need to dictate terms to yourself about how you go about different aspects of your life. Right? And you have enough information these days on how to keep healthy, how to keep you keep your mind calm, how to focus on studies. So you need to take care of yourself. You know why we worry? Why we worry? Do you think care and worry are related? Do you think you worry for things you care about? Yes? Do you think you worry about things you care about or people you care about? Okay, I will tell you it is the opposite. If you took care, you won't need to worry. You worry because you don't take care. So only when you neglect something, you worry about it. If you really take care of something, you will never worry about it, right? For example, you have friends, and then if you are doing the right thing for your friend, then you will never worry. But if you are neglecting them, you are doing something behind their back, you are not being truthful and honest to them, then you will worry about your friendship. Am I right? So only when you know that you have done something which is not good for your friendship, do you worry about your friendship. Only when you know that you have not done the right thing in your study, then you worry about your study. So you don't worry when you care, you worry when you have not taken care. So once you take care of things, you will not worry. right? Once you're well prepared and you know you have done your preparation, you don't worry. You worry when you have not done the right preparation. So this is something that we need to understand. Anybody would like to summarize what we did until now? Anybody who would like to summarize whatever we learnt until now in the session? Raise your hand, I will unmute you, please. हाँ, सोहम भाई, हाँ, the unmute करना. We are unmuting you, please recapitulate what we did. हाँ जी, सोहम, please speak. I can't see. हाँ, बोलिए. I can't hear you. Is the audio on? Yes, the audio is on. Probably the audio is not connected, or I can't hear you. There is some problem with the audio. So, anybody else? Akshat Chaudhary, would you like to say what we did until now? Please recapitulate. I want to know that you are listening. अक्षत को अनम्यूट कर लो. अनम्यूट करो ना अक्षत को. नहीं हुआ ना? ओके. प्लीज अनम्यूट अक्षत भाई. हाँ, टेल मी. यस. Yes. So wherever attention goes, energy flows. So don't resist. Please accept first, and then with acceptance, when you start working with it, when you come to terms with it and find a way of working with it, then it cannot defeat you, because you've come up with a strategy in this situation. So it cannot work as an obstacle for you. And another important thing that we understood is about discipline, and how if we are not disciplined, we are neglecting areas that we need to pay attention to. And when we neglect something, then we will always be in fear, and leading a life of fear is good for nobody. So these are the main things that we need to understand today. Okay, now I want to talk about perception also. We talked something about attention and discipline, and now I want to talk about perception. So perception is your way of viewing a certain thing. Yes, your way of viewing a certain thing. For example, we are all sitting in this class right now, but are all of you experiencing this session in the same manner? No, all of your experience is different. So now your experience depends on your perception. Yes, it's not about how good or bad I am, it's about how you see me. Right? So your experience depends on your perception. So now I want you to give me 3 words which fit in the description that you would give to yourself, which is, if I ask you to define yourself, then what are the 3 words that you will use to define yourself? 3 words that you will use to define yourself. Please write them on the chat box privately to me. So three words that you will use to define yourself. That is your perception of yourself. So I want you to know your perception of yourself. So please write it in the chat box privately how you would use three words to define yourself. Yes, please, I want an answer from everybody. Each of you, everyone has to write an answer. I will check who didn't write and then ask you to speak it aloud. So now it is private, then it would be public. So that won't be a good idea. So you please write three words that would describe you. Okay, I didn't have all the answers until now. So let me check who didn't write and you will be asked to speak aloud. So please write three words that you think would describe you. Three words that you think will describe you. Okay, so let me read them to you. So the words that have come up are lonely, full of masti, careful, helpful and lazy. Okay, lazy, cheerful, dumb. Okay, loyal, potential, careless and hope. I'm result oriented. Then there is active, silly and careless, honest, polite and hardworking. Then self-respect. Then there is smart, handsome and healthy. So then there is overthinker. Then there's talented, humble but mismanaged. Okay, then there is active, naughty and hardworking. Then there's short-tempered sometimes. Then sometimes funny, hardworking and happy, caring, confident, honest. Then there's self-recognition. There is lazy, uncertain, creative. There is caring, funny, kind-hearted, funny, honest and happy, honest, caring and helpful, naughty, I'm ambitious and driven. Okay, funny, loyal and crazy in a good way. Introvert, peace lover, book lover. Okay, calm, anxious, silent. Okay, so there are so many. And creative, witty, game changer. Okay, then, okay, so there are many. So there is confusing, cares about others' happiness. All right, so there are a lot of happy ones here, right? So those of you describe yourself as happy. Now, are you happy sometimes or are you happy always? Those of you who said that I'm happy, are you happy always or are you happy sometimes? Right? So there are sometimes ones. Mostly people say we are happy sometimes. So let me tell you one thing. So we meditate. You know that you are sitting with a person who meditates daily. So once I met somebody and they said, are you always happy? So I said, yes, mostly. So then they said, so mostly doesn't count because mostly everybody is happy. It only matters when you're always happy. So from that day on, I started understanding that happiness is always happiness when it is everlasting, and if it comes and goes, it is not happiness, right? So now we will find out the reason why you are sometimes happy and why you are sometimes not happy. Okay, so to ask you the reason for happiness, so one thing is, are you happy or sad? So you are happy. Now why are you happy? Why are you happy? So mostly the answer that comes is because something on the external world is going right. Right? Something on the external world is going right. Maybe you got good marks, or maybe you got something, or maybe you got a compliment, or maybe somebody appreciated you, or maybe you passed a test, or something of this sort happened, or somebody gave you, somebody spoke sweet words to you. So these are the reasons why we are mostly happy. So that means the remote control for your happiness is in the hands of somebody else. Yes? So now they've turned it on, so you are happy, and the moment they want to turn it off, you will be unhappy. Right? So write down another rule. If our happiness has a reason, then the reason has a season. If our happiness has a reason, then the reason has a season. And when the season will end, the reason will end, and the happiness will also end. If our happiness has a reason, the reason has a season. And if the season will end, the reason will end, and the happiness will also end. Okay, so anything that is making you happy might change tomorrow. And if you are happy because of that, then your happiness will also change. And that's not a very good place to be in. So what you need to understand is, your happiness should not have a reason. Your happiness should not have a reason. Do you understand that it is possible that you can be happy without a reason? How many are happy without a reason? Can you be happy without a reason? Raise your hand. Yes. Yes. So only some can be happy without a reason. Okay. And can you be sad without a reason? No. Then what are you without a reason? When there is no reason, are you happy or are you sad? Okay, so but there is nothing like nothing. You are either happy or you are sad, right? So you have to be either happy or you are sad. So the thing is, now we need to check on ourselves that we can be sad without a reason. That is, we are usually in low spirits even when there is no particular reason. Like sometimes, your friend will call you up and then you are on video call and they say, why do you look upset? So you say, do I look upset? I don't look upset. I look fine. But then you know that you're looking upset and there is no reason, because you have conditioned yourself to look upset. So nowadays it is so pathetic that we can be sad without a reason, we can't be happy without a reason. So we are mostly sad, and that too without reason. And for happiness we need a reason. Is this a good idea? So you should be happy without a reason, and then to get you sad, somebody should really try hard. Yes, somebody should have a hard time getting you sad or making you sad. So that is the challenge you should give other people, that मुझे दुखी करके तो दिखाओ. है ना? So and nowadays you are challenging people that मुझे खुश करके तो दिखाओ. I will tell you one thing. There is a young man your age, and then once he was watching something on internet, and I was watching that person, and he was not smiling at all, and the whole half an hour I kept looking at him, and he was not smiling. And then when he switched off the computer, I asked him, what were you watching? He said, stand up comedy. So I said, but you didn't laugh at all. He said the jokes were not good. So I said, you were not watching stand-up comedy, you were challenging the comedian. That I dare you to make me laugh. So are you doing that? So you need good jokes to make you happy. You need good jokes to make you laugh. But it doesn't take anything to make you dry or wry or sad or upset. You can get upset at the wink of an eye, but then it takes so much to make you happy. Is that a good way of living? So we need to understand that we should train ourselves to be happy come what may. And that training we will do tomorrow. Okay, so we will talk about how to enhance our self-esteem. So that is about training ourselves to be happy come what may. And then I will also talk about something about some of you define yourself as smart and handsome and beautiful and good looking and these kinds of things, and some of you define yourself as average looking and not handsome or not smart or not beautiful. Do you do that? So do you have a self perception based on how you look? We sure do. We will not agree, but we sure do. So you have a definition of yourself which is based on how you look, and that is not a good place to be in, because see, you are you your body, or are you how you look, or are you more than that? Are you limited to your looks, or are you more than that? How many say more than that? Raise your hand. How many say you're more than that? And how many say you are just what you look? Okay, so we need to know that we are not what we look. Okay, we are not limited to how we look, because this look is external, but you are not what you see in the mirror. You are what you think, you are your ideas, you are your kindness, your happiness, you are the whether you are big-hearted or small-hearted, you are intelligent or talented, or these kinds of things. These are things that define you, not your physical appearance. And why do I say that? Because the physical appearance is changeable. Your body is constantly changing, and you cannot base your identity on something that is ever changing. Can you? You can't base your identity on something that is ever changing. So this means that you are not what you look like. You are what you are in the inside. And we will talk about these things more tomorrow. So how to define ourselves, how to ensure that we stay confident and happy and sure of ourselves in whatever situations we are. But for today, we will perform this last exercise now, wherein I will give you one situation and you would interpret it. Okay? You will interpret it. So, you lost a notebook. Okay? You lost a notebook and you searched for that notebook everywhere, and then you found it in your best friend's bag. You found that notebook in the bag of your best friend. Now, what is the thought that would come to your mind? What is the thought that would come to your mind first? Please write down privately. Okay? What is the thought that would come to your mind? Okay. She's your best friend or he's your best friend, and then you lost your notebook and you found it in that person's bag. So, what comes to your mind? Okay, so there are answers, and I would read that to you. She took it by mistake. Maybe she kept it for safekeeping. I was too much afraid. Did I forget? He might have taken by mistake. She might have taken it by mistake. Thank you for finding my book. Friend is trying to tease me. I think by mistake. That she betrayed me, broke my trust. Okay, she's not a good friend. Thank God that it was in safe hands. It was taken by him or her by mistake. Accidentally my notebook got into her bag. Shocked. वो तो है ही ऐसी. In my mind it came that by mistake my notebook got inside in his bag. She broke my trust or he broke my trust, just done a prank. I would think that she or he has a good reason and give them the benefit of the doubt. For my notebook might have taken by mistake. He might have taken it to complete his work. From where did she get that? Give him or her a chance. Okay, stealing my notebook. Okay, so there are so many answers. Revenge. So there are so many answers. And now do you understand what perception is? Because it is that same incident for everybody. The incident is the same, but how you think about it is different. So how you think about it, is it about the incident or is it about your way of thinking? So whatever you think in a certain incident, is it about what happened or is it about your way of thinking? So how many say it's about our way of thinking? Raise your hand, please. So now do you get it? That it's not about what happens, it's about how we think. It is very, very personal. So everybody in the same situation thinks differently because the situation being the same, our personalities are different. So people who trust give the benefit of doubt, and people who don't trust put an allegation or think bad about other people. So when you think bad about others, it's not about them, it's about you. Right? When you think ill of somebody, when you think bad of somebody, it's not about them, it's about you. Because given the same situation, each one of you is thinking differently. Right? Now, this question, what is the right way of thinking? So one thing you should know, that trust is a quality. Trust is a quality of a person. And even if somebody had bad intentions, you don't lose your quality of trust. Right? Because, write another law. Whatever you do many times will become your quality or your habit. Whatever thought you take, word you speak or act you perform for many times will become your habit or your quality or your personality trait. So if 10 people with bad intentions come in your life, then you will not be capable of trusting anybody if you keep losing your quality of trust whenever anything of this sort happens. So what you need to understand is, even if somebody had bad intention, you see that incident and you don't create this thought that they betrayed me. You create this thought that it is okay, I can choose to be friends with that person or not be friends with that person in the same way onwards, but I don't need to create this thought that the world is untrustworthy. Right? So because if you start creating वो तो ऐसी ही है या ये तो हमेशा ही होता है and people are like this, then you will not be able to have a friend in your life again, because you need to trust to make a friend. So don't lose your quality because something happened, and whenever you think, keep your quality intact in your thinking. Does it make sense? Does what I'm saying make sense? Do you understand? Whenever you are thinking about anything, keep your quality intact while taking that thought. Because what you think, if you think in a way which is against your good qualities, then you will lose your quality in that thought process gradually. So this is the thing that you need to understand, that whatever we feel or think in a situation is not about the situation, it's about our perception. And we should tailor make our perception in such a manner that we don't lose our qualities. We will learn more about these things tomorrow, and I want a feedback from you over WhatsApp. You all have the WhatsApp number. So I want you to let me know about what you want to understand. If you have some questions and you want me to particularly address those issues and what you think is relevant in your age group, and you can come up with those suggestions also, and you can also reflect on what we did today and give some comments if you like. Fine. So let's sit in silence for 1 minute and then we will finish this session. Sit quietly and just recapitulate whatever we did today. And think about whether you agree with it. I am doing this session for myself, and I want to take away something for myself. I want to check whether whatever is spoken makes sense, and what I find right, I want to imbibe in my life. Just give yourself a minute and recapitulate what we did today. Om Shanti. See you tomorrow. Om Shanti.